Good morning, everyone. So I'm in my office today for my coffee clutch because my husband's home for the week. So I'm not in my living room, but that's okay. If you don't already know me, my name is Rolli, and I do a Monday morning coffee clutch where we talk about different things about self-love. And here we go. This is what I got from my daughter. I don't know if you can read it backwards. It says more self-love. So this was my Mother's Day gift from my daughter Rochelle, and isn't that wonderful? And then she gave me some coffee. It's called Summer Haze by La Colombe, and with the notes of candied almonds, malted milkshake, and poached pear, and it's delish. So I just ground that up in my little handy dandy manual grinder, and I have some delicious coffee for this morning. So today we're actually going to talk about what I've been talking about, Brené Brown's book, which I've been using, and there's a little workbook in here, so let me show you this. It is the Gifts of Imperfection, and how we actually have to have compassion for ourselves and believe that imperfection is actually a good thing, because nobody else is perfect except for God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit, right? Nobody else. Well, the Holy Spirit, whatever. So this book, actually, there's different chapters in here. I had a little bookmark in here because I want to use it. So this is the book, and this is the workbook that goes with it if you want it. And it's really very helpful because you can go through and check different things, and it'll ask you different questions. So one of the things we're talking about, letting go of imperfection and cultivating self-compassion. So one of the questions, so they have this, seeing if you're a perfectionist, right? Okay, so if you can answer true to, how many questions do I have? Let's see. Let me look and see what it says here. How many? I think it's, let's see. If you answer yes, or if your answers are yes, then you have both perfection and, oh, okay. So I thought it was a certain number. But, okay, so the first question would be, have you ever tried to prove to people that you're the best by doing so much to please them? Yes, I have. Do you like pleasing people? Of course we do, right? Women especially, right? Are you more bothered about what people think than how you can improve? Sometimes, right? Do you believe in meeting all the requirements before you get to a promotion? Yes, and I can say I actually did this and have done this at my recent job. When I was asked if I wanted to be a supervisor, I just said, I'm not ready, I don't know everything. But they thought I was good enough. So why don't I think I'm good enough? Do you think it is wrong to take instinctive decisions instead of following the steps to get an opportunity? And I'm going to say yes to that, because I did an instinctive decision just recently and changed where I was working in a different department, and then I went back to the one I had because I hadn't proven to myself that I could actually do it, or not really sure. Did you grow up in a house where the best child was the one who got the highest praise because they obeyed all the instructions? Yes. Were you constantly compared with other kids who had the best grades? Yes. And that would be in school and at home. Do you put up an acceptable behavior or say the right things in front of everyone, even if it's not really true how you feel? Sometimes. Would you do everything and anything to prevent criticism? I think so. Do you feel terrible within yourself when you don't get things right? Absolutely. I badger myself. Do you believe everything must be right without a fault? And even though I checked no, I think I do. Do you accept, regard, disregard, and judge people based on what you see? Sometimes. And you should never do that, right? Have you ever stopped yourself from giving you your best because of all the things that you could go wrong? And I'm going to say yes, because there's a fear of failure there. I wanted to, there was a little story to this week's judging thing. We were in St. Louis, and we were going to the auto store, and this big guy came out and held the door for us. But he was kind of grumpy when we said hello or how are you, or whatever it was. So I was like scared of him, and I thought, oh, he's not nice. Well, he happened to be the guy that needed to help us if we had questions. So I was like, I can't ask him a question. I can't ask, because my husband kept saying, well, make sure those are the right ones, or whatever, windshield wipers. And I was like, I can't ask him a question. Then we got up to the front, and my husband gave him a box that we were looking for something and whatever, and he was so nice. So there you go. Don't judge a book by its cover, right? Not good. Okay, so this is very helpful. I like that. You know, just to have self-compassion is just so this chapter was cultivating compassion, letting go of perfection, which we all have some sort of perfection that we deal with. Are you striving to be your best, or are you trying to be perfect? Now, if you're trying to be perfect, then you're trying to be perfect for somebody else, because perfectionism is that you believe that we live perfect, we look perfect, and we act perfect. We can avoid blame, shame, and judgment, and therefore we are really trying to earn approval and acceptance. Because if you're trying to avoid blame, shame, and judgment, then that's something that's external to yourself. So you're looking for approval and acceptance. We were raised like were you raised like me, where you received praise and achievement and for performance? Yes. Grades, manners, appearance, sports, following rules, people pleasing. So we've been raised to people please, and now that's what we think we need to do. This creates the thought process that we are what we accomplish, and how well we accomplish it, instead of who we are and how good we try, and how we are actually, how we are. Since you are not striving to improve yourself for yourself, it is not a healthy striving. It is perfectionism, which leads to shame and judgment and blame, because you can never be perfect. So it's like a big cycle. It hampers your perfectionism hampers your success. Why? Because the example I just gave you is that there's a fear of failure there, because then you're going to be judged, and you're going to feel shame, and you're going to feel failure, and it just goes around in a big circle, and you're disappointing somebody else. So if you risk doing it for self-worth, when your self-worth is on the line. So you're risking doing it, your self-worth is on the line, and if you do it wrong, then you're going to start badgering yourself and saying, I'm not worth it, I'm not good enough, I'm not perfect. You're not going to be perfect. So it's self-destructive, it's impossible because we're not perfect, and it's addictive, because when you experience shame, blame, and judgment, and you weren't good enough, then you want to be more perfect. So it's like this big cycle. To break the cycle, you need to acknowledge that no one, including you, is perfect except for God. Tell yourself you did your best, which is one of my new mantras. Embrace your imperfections, because our imperfections make us who we are. So we need to be happy with who we are. Have a moment of self-compassion. This is a little, what do you call it? Quote from Christopher K. Germer I really liked. A moment of self-compassion can change your entire day. A string of moments can change the course of your life. So self-compassion is important. Be nice to yourself. Believe in yourself. Be the best you can be, but you cannot be perfect. I hope you guys like this, and I did have a question. If you want to do a read-along with me that's on Brené Brown's blog, let me know. Just message me, DM me on my VIP group or on my regular Facebook, and let's do that, because I think it would be fun. It goes by like chapter by chapter, and then we have a discussion about it. So I'd love to do that with you if you're interested. And as for today, again, have compassion for yourself. And, and I'm trying to get my cup. Have some good coffee. Happy Coffee Clutch.